What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, we have big changes coming to the Contest of Champions. Pretty exciting, but there's definitely a lot of controversy over it. If by chance you've been living under a rock for this last weekend, I'll definitely make sure I put a link in the description below so you can take a look at this entire forum that Kabam Mike, or this entire post that Kabam Mike posted on the forums. Um, there's definitely a lot that you'll want to read up on to get up to speed because come March 1st, the game is about to take a drastic turn. Whether for the good or the bad, only time will tell. Um, there's a lot of changes that I'm not going to get into with the whole percentages being replaced with flat rates and these additional stats. I'm not going to get into all that. Um, what I'm going to talk about pretty much is I'm going to give my own opinions on how I feel about it, but I want to touch on all the arguments that have been sent my way through line. Um, I've had a lot of players mention how they're completely against this, and I understand. I completely understand, and am in agreement with a lot of what they have to say. Somebody even sent me a link to, uh, I guess it's a petition, is what it is, and thousands of people have already signed it trying to stop this update from happening. And I did manage to take the time to read through their comments, and for the most part, everybody seems to have the same complaint. And so I will like to say that I do understand everybody's issues, and I agree with their arguments. Um, but for me, all in all, I'm excited about this change that's coming to us. I'm I'm completely in favor with it based on the fact that other changes need to happen as well, which I'll get into. But for the way I look at it is Kabam has mentioned before that they have years worth of plans for this game, with new content coming out. And when I think about this game 5 years from now, would I really be willing to stick around for the next 5 years with the game as it is right now, with no changes happening? Probably not. For me, this game is real repetitive. It's all about using these god tier champs and going through everything. Do you have to? No, probably not. There's a lot of skilled players in this game that can probably go through, you know, a monthly event on Master using a Spider Gwen. They're few and far in between. I don't think there's a great deal of them, but there's a lot of good players in this game. But Kabam has created some issues within the game that makes us rely on these god tier champs, and that's where the problem lies. I definitely say the problem falls on Kabam's lap when it comes to the god tier champs and why we want them so much, and that's kind of where the problem lies with this update. Is there's so much that needs to change, once you remove these god tier champs, because Kabam has created these money traps, and where things are very champ specific. And by champ specific, you know, they're mostly god tier champ specific, mainly Scarlet Witch. So we're to jump right into this with the nerfs that are happening to god tier champs. We've got Black Widow. Her signature ability is going from 100 to 70%, and then another one is Thor. And with what people are saying about these two, I can't disagree with them at all. These two, while Thor is a boss killer, I get that. There's other champs that people use for boss killing, so I'm not really on board with it. Oh, we're losing a boss killer. That part I'm not in agreement with. But where people mention things like thorns in Alliance War defense, I can completely see where they're coming from. Thor, he is a great champ to use for Thorns. Him and Black Widow, in my opinion, are the best champs for it. Especially if somebody's using, a champ that stacks armor. Thor's going to handle it really well. Black Widow, if the Sig level is right, she's definitely, for me, one of the best champs to use in Alliance Wars, period. Mainly because of Thorns, because of Electro, and because of all the evade champs that we see. But with evade champs, there's other options. With Thorns, I know there's other options. Electra is probably going to step up to the plate. Crossbones for me. Other people have said, well, you can use crossbones. I know that. I don't like to use crossbones in Alliance War because Mystic Dispersion is such a valuable thing in Alliance War defense, and crossbones, he triggers the shit out of it with his furies. So I don't like using them for that. It doesn't mean I won't have to. We'll just have to see how things go when the update comes out. But as far as them two God tier champs go, I see the issue there. The biggest one that took the biggest hit is Scarlet Witch. Now looking at everything, um, everything seems like she's still gonna be okay. She's gonna be good. She's not gonna be great. She's not. I don't think she's gonna do what she did before, even with the new flat rates that are coming out and the new stats. I think she's gonna be a thing of the past, and this is where a lot of the problem lies is Scarlet Witch is used to get through a lot of these money pits that Kabam has made, and a lot of people are jumping the gun and assuming that Act 5 is going to be full of them, and Kabam's trying to do this to create more money, by getting us to use our items and our units. That's what I've read so far. So they feel that by removing Scarlet Witch, that there's going to be a lot of money pits in Act 5, and I can see why they think that. There's a lot of stuff in Act 4 where Scarlet Witch is kind of a must-have. A lot of people are going to be struggling on 433 super jugs. There is the Ronin technique, but the other thing with the Ronin technique is jugs is a little bit different now. When you go and you look at them YouTube videos, most of the YouTube videos people use the perfect block team with Ronin. You know, Jugs is a little bit stronger these days, and it's not that the Ronin technique won't work, it's that it doesn't work as well as it used to. So, there is that issue where, you've got the money traps for some people, and then there's the other argument where some players aren't going to have the same opportunities as others. And I agree with that. I recently went through Realm of Legends using just Scarlet Witch, and other players aren't going to have that opportunity when they want to do Realm of Legends. Um, so obviously, with these nerfs that are coming out, there needs to be a lot of changes within the game. Realm of Legends, I think, needs to change. That's been stated before, I think, by Seaton. I'm in complete agreement with that. It's definitely still beatable, but I think with some of these new champs getting buffed and some of the more strategic levels that'll be put in, if they change Realm of Legends, it's still going to be beatable. As it sits now, if you were to go through with Wolverine and a Guillotine, you can get through it. I've used Wolverine quite a bit on there, just getting items, but I don't want to get too much into that. So I see the issue there with why people are against these nerfs. So I'm for the nerfs for a few reasons, but this is all with the understanding that a lot of content within the game needs to change to make me not have to need these god tier champs. But for me, I don't. There's so many champs in this game. I want to have to use them. I want to be strategic and have to go, pick my champs wisely. I don't want to be dependent on 3 or 4 champs to get me through everything. So that's really why I'm excited about this update. Um, because right now, like you looked at my videos, I've used 3-star Scarlet Witch for a majority of everything, and the whole reason for that is because with this being my second account, I've done everything before already. Scarlet Witch did make things a lot easier to go through. I didn't want to have to take my time and go through stuff that I've already done before. So, there is that big plus to having her. It does make things faster. But, when Act 5 comes out, I don't want to have to use Scarlet Witch. Um, and as long as there's no money traps, I won't feel the need to have to. I want to use everything. So that's why I'm excited about this, to be able to utilize my whole roster. And I don't want to ramble on too much about that. I think I've made my point. Something I want to touch on is the nerf on Doctor Strange. This is the biggest one that I'm in disagreement with. They reduced his power gain. They changed his life steal to a flat health recovery. Um, well, I don't know. what the life steal is going to be because that's unknown. It's going to take some time. But I do disagree with the power gain. I completely hated to see that go. And I don't have a 4-star Doctor Strange. I used to on my old account. So I have played with him before. But, when I fight somebody's Doctor Strange, I can handle their power gain, even if they have Mystic Dispersion, excuse me. I can handle it because he seems like he's for the most part easy enough to bait on the L1 and the L2, you know. But when you take a champion like Mordo who has power gain, he's a different kind of AI. He's definitely seems a lot smarter. When his power gain triggers, he goes into full block mode. It's really hard to stop. So, when you're hitting Mordo, you're building up his power meter. When he goes into power gain, he's gaining more power. And then you can't stop it. You can't, I mean, if you could break through his block, great. But sometimes, you may suffer trying to do that. So I feel Mordo would, on as far as power gain, would have needed to change before Doctor Strange. Um, Another one is Hyperion. You know, to me, I feel, in my opinion, that Hyperion has the best power gain. Like, I would rather fight a Doctor Strange and possibly a Mortal before I'd fight a Hyperion, because not only is he building up power gain from his built-in power gain, he also builds it when you're beating the shit out of him. He's really hard to stop sometimes. Luckily, you can bait him and all that, but I think he has the best power gain. That's just my opinion, and it could just be because they're new and they're going to take more time to get used to. And Doctor Strange has been around for a while, but Doctor Strange's power gain has never been an issue for me when fighting. So I don't know if that was an attack based thing, to make his attack not as good, which is kind of silly to me. Um, but and also on the Mordo and Hyperion, I'm just making a comparison to power gain. I'm not saying that they're unbeatable by any means. It's just my argument on power gain in general. That it doesn't make sense to come out with new champs, all these new champs that have power gain, and who could possibly be better than him in some ways, depending on how you want to look at it, but only nerf him on it because he's considered a god tier champ. So with Doctor Strange, a change is being made to him. I'm completely disagreeing with that. I think that's bullshit, and that's a champion I don't even use, and I hate to see that happen. The health recovery, we'll see how that goes. But on the plus, there is a lot of champs that are being buffed, and some of them I do have and use often. Um, but they're the champs that everybody has always hated to get that are now getting buffs. And I can't say that I completely understand where the arguments are here. People, that's what people have been asking for, is to want to, not wanting all these shitty champs. They want everybody to be able to use their champs. But I think it really just comes down to the god tier champs being nerfed and the bullshit within the game. So the bullshit needs to leave, and then hopefully, we won't care about losing the god tier champs. So I'm done rambling on about that. I'm ready to move on to the other argument. What we're getting in return for what we're losing. And I think I am 100% in agreement with a lot of players on what we should and shouldn't be getting. Um, if you look through these, every rating, is going to be getting something different. The problem lies right here on the hero rating of 75K and higher. Um, and one thing to take in consideration is, where people are upset the most about the nerf champions, and I feel their pain on this because I've gone through it too. Um, they put in so much to try to get these god tier champs, and like I said, Kabam made us, in my opinion, have to have these champs. So, uh, we put in all this work to get these god tier champs. With me, if you watch my videos, I've had Scarlet Witch for a while, but I could not awaken her. I spent money on Mystic Crystals, which were failed disasters, would give me nothing but 2 stars. I had to buy energy, revives, and all that, trying to hurry up and get stuff done. Finally got a Awakening gem, And for all my effort, this is what I'm going to get back. And there's people who have put in so much more than me. So I understand their complaint even stronger than it is from my perspective, where I know I'm not getting what I put into it. And I get that. We're not going to get what we put into it. But do I really need to get the same thing that a 75K player is getting when I have so much more that needs to be readjusted based on what's going to happen? A 400K player has even more changes that they're going to probably want to make than I do, but they're going to get the same as a 75K player. Um, so I definitely see the issue there. And there's always that possibility that Kabam's going to notice this. They're going to listen to the complaints and adjust this. So we're hoping to see some more brackets there. Um, I don't, because, I don't see a 75K player having as many rank 5 champs as a 400K player who's going to probably want to take some things down and put some other champs back up. Who knows? But the arguments are there and it makes sense. So this is a change that I'm completely in a disagreement with. Doctor Strange, I'm in a complete disagreement with. Um, but all in all, I'm happy about the changes with the understanding that more changes need to be made. If these things stay as is right now, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it because there is so much unknown. When this update does happen, I'm not gonna jump in there and start de-ranking and ranking up new champs. It's gonna take some time to figure out. I'm gonna run through some stuff with Scarlet Witch, see how drastic the change is to her because right now we're not seeing numbers. We're playing a guessing game, and I really hope that other players stick this out and don't do what they say they're gonna do and just quit. I say give it a chance and do what we're all gonna do. Experiment, play around with everything. You gotta sometimes be able to accept change and try things. And you know, with everybody being disgruntled about it, I understand it completely. But there are some things to be excited about. In the end, I think we all want the same thing. Whether you're in favor of this as a whole or not, I think we all want to see the same changes. While we hate to lose God tier champs, I think we can all agree that there's only that we all want them for the same reason. And there is a lot of hate for the effort that's put into it. So these are all my opinions, and I am well aware that there are a lot of people out there that will disagree with me. But I wanted to share my perspective on it as somebody that's in favor of it because there are some of us out there, a lot of us, so hopefully I don't catch too much flack. But that's going to end it for this video, guys. Take care.